Good morning, wrestling fans, and welcome to PWR today. 1 week away, 6 days away from Festivus, the man they call Meathead, Matthew Thomas. It's Friday, December 17th, 2021. Matthew, how are you feeling? How are you doing, knowing that next week is the high holiday?
Oh, I'm doing great. Going into a weekend, going into a holiday weekend. Well, I mean it's a holiday weekend in the sense that it's around the holiday time, even though there's no official holiday that falls, on the weekend. It's the first weekend or the last weekend before Christmas is what it is.
Feliz Navidad. Dun, 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 dun. Feliz Navidad. Oh yeah, I love that.
That means Merry Christmas, right?
Yeah, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Matthew, who's the sponsor today? That didn't pay for that segment at all.
Collar and Elbow brand. You can find them at collarandelbowbrand.com, the perfect place to go and look for a Christmas gift if you're shopping for yourself, if you're shopping for a loved one, or maybe you're waiting on a baby to be born and you want the very first article of clothing they're wrapped in to be Collar and Elbow brand material. They can do that too. You can buy it, you can take it into the hospital room where they give the birthing and they do the birthing.
So you could swaddle babies in Collar and Elbow.
They do the birthing. You could be like, hey doctor, I don't want my child being put in whatever. Yeah, you've had children, like they put whatever they put them in, whatever cloth. Hey, can you specify the type of cloth they put a newborn in?
You can do whatever you want if you provide it, if it's clean linen.
Yeah, interesting. And I mean, that's the thing, like, the Collar and Elbow you get's going to be clean linen. I don't even bother, washing mine anymore because it's clean from the factory, man. And I just put it right on when I get it. I mean, I eventually wash it, but like, when I get it, I'm like, oh, this, and it smells so good.
So you're saying it's ready to wear?
Yeah. Have you ever noticed how good it smells when you get your Collar and Elbow package?
Fair enough. I haven't sniffed my Collar and Elbow packages.
Oh, it's great. I mean,
I'm not a package sniffer. I mean, that's not really my world. But
yeah, well, you need to get into it. But collarandelbowbrand.com, Linda K, LINDAKAY. That's the promo code that you put in to save the money on the Collar and Elbow that you either buy for yourself or you buy to give a newborn.
Fair enough. Like I said, let's swaddle some babies in Collar and Elbow. Let's talk some news. Let's talk AEW. Jake Hager says that his spot unofficially was not even his. He kind of fell into it because the Inner Circle was supposed to have Gallows and Anderson.
Interesting. Retrospect going back and how that would have worked and what could have been. But I think it's been a good spot for Hager.
Yeah, and I'm really happy with it. And Jake Hager belongs in the Inner Circle. I think it's a really good fit. All right, so Jake could have been somewhere else. Let's talk about somebody that had everything handed to him at the beginning of the show, at the beginning of WCW on WWE TV or WWF TV. It was Buff Bagwell. And he says the WWE turned him down for rehab.
Yeah, well, that's disappointing to hear.
He was on this show called Who the Fook Are These Guys? Talking about his show and or talking about his career really, but he mentioned that WWE turned him down for rehab. Now he goes, I got turned down to go to rehab with WWE at the time. He goes, I may be the only guy to do these two things ever. One, I main event 1 week and I'm fired the next week. And I'm the only person in history to get turned down to go to rehab because WWE is historically sent any talents to, rehab and put in their 60 days. But he feels that he might be a boy who cried wolf type scenario. And maybe they just weren't buying it. Way later in this interview, he said that for some reason he had to give him $80,000 to get into the company, and he sued the company to get his top hat back. Wow.
First of all, I hope it's not true that, they turned him down. Second of all, what kind of a deal is that where you got to get 80 grand? Is it like a pyramid scheme or something? Is that what WWE is known for?
So here's the quote. The only reason you saw Dallas, Booker, and me was because our contracts were up. That's it. The rest of them, your Lexus, your Flairs, all the other big stars were because they had a big contract and could sit at home and get the money. But I chose to lose 80 grand and say, look, I'll tell you what, Vince, with all the heat that's on me, I said, forget the 80 grand. You don't owe it to me. I'm letting you know I'm coming to you because I'm going to cancel the heat and cancel everything you've heard about me and show you by losing 80 grand that I was on the team. I was fired in a week. That's effed up, bro. I just wanted to prove to them that I wasn't the bad villain that they thought. and it was worth it to me. And keep in mind, I was making $1 million a year. Losing 80 grand is nothing. Right now, I think I'd kill my own dad and my own family for that. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, that's awful. Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
say that.
As soon as I told my manager, he said, Mark, that's effing brilliant. They're going to be all over this. And they fired me in a week.
Yeah. I mean, stop you right there. Regardless of sarcasm or whatever, you making a statement like that in public is not cool.
Nope. And then he said he had to sue him to get his top hat back.
Yeah, and let's think about this too. Like $1 million a year, 80 grand is still close to 1/10 of your pay.
Right.
That's still 1/10 of what you're taking home. So, yeah, I mean, it's not a half, but it's still 1/10. 1/10 of what you're making to just have it vanish. That fraction is still a decent amount of the other number.
It is what it is. Bagwell says that the WWE turned him down. Somebody that the WWE wants and are really getting Fox television pushing behind him to grab is Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
My question to you is, could MJF be MJF in WWE? Would he have that leeway?
No, because MJF, some of the appeal to MJF is you don't know what he's going to say. In WWE, he's going to say things, but it's going to be absolutely censored, especially on Fox.
Yeah, and I mean, and this is not a slight to either person, but when Punk made the Miz comparison, I think what you would get in WWE would be much more of a Miz-like character, because that's about the leeway they're going to give a heel like that.
Absolutely. Also, kind of segueing into that, when the MJF segment mentioning Ryback came out, our boy Ryback had something to say. Hey, thanks for the shout out at the MJF. Now you have your big chance of being an enhancement talent working with an underwhelming opponent. Hashtag feed me more. And you know what the big guy Ryback did? That little comment was tweeted with a picture of CM Punk in the United Center, bloodied in a UFC match. I guess Ryback and Punk don't like each other.
Yeah, it certainly sounds that way. But and I think you got to think part of the reason for that spot in that promo, because you knew there was going to be a Ryback response to it.
Of course. All right, let's talk about Smackdown and Rampage for tonight, Matthew. Remember when Impact started the broken Matt Hardy stuff?
I do very well. Uh-huh.
And kept saying, dude, you've got to see this. You've got to see this. WWE Smackdown may have something like this on their hands. I have to. It's appointment television to watch Farmer Brock on TV.
Here's what they did after last week was, for the first time in a long, long time, the Friday night show that I'm most looking forward to is SmackDown, to see what they do with Farmer Brock. I think they've struck gold.
I don't know if he's going to be on tonight, though, because remember, Brock's contracts are always, limited appearances. So I think tonight we get Roman Reigns, who is scheduled to return. I don't know that we have Farmer Brock on TV. Maybe via satellite. I don't know.
maybe you get him in a field or a tree stand.
Exactly. In Saskatchewan. Matthew, I said this to Linda, and I don't believe I told you this on air. I really feel that if he comes out and starts acting like that dude from Grown Ups going, "Horse teethers."
Here's what I want to see. I want to see Brock with the did you ever watch Hee Haw Meathead?
Of course I did.
All right. I want to see Brock with the Hee Haw, like, what was it, a cornfield or whatever, or fence?
Yeah, where they pop up behind a bale of hay.
Yep. I want to see. That's what I want to see Brock in.
I would watch that every day because, again, last week Paul Heyman go, what am I watching here? Who are you? Hey, buddy, want to go moose hunting?
Oh my goodness,
that was good TV.
What WWE did was, it's not like when oh my goodness, I can't think of his name, former United States champion, went away and became a Nigerian prince.
A Nigerian prince?
Talking
about Apollo Crews?
Yes. It's Nigerian prince, right?
Probably.
Okay. And forgive me if I got the type of prince he's supposed to be wrong, but that was just out of nowhere. Like, that was a straight up gimmick change. This is, we get a reason for it. He got some time off. He relaxed and enjoyed what he likes to do, and he's kind of chilled out now. This makes sense. It's a it's a 180-degree flip for Lesnar, but we've got the story to make sense. So
straight off the farm, literally.
Yep, exactly.
And having Sami Zayn play the foil there, Sammy's, the Academy Award goes to.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's what makes so much of this great. You get to see how good Sami is. You really do.
All right, so that we've got the rest of the stuff going on in SmackDown, but I'm telling you, I'm tuning in to see Farmer Brock and what Roman and the Wise Man have to do next. So let's see what happens on SmackDown. But coming up tonight, right after SmackDown, is the fallout, pun intended, for AEW Rampage. The fallout from Winter's Coming. It has arrived. Now, it wasn't in the form of a surprise debut, but what we've got, because we had a 1-hour match between Adam Page and Bryan Danielson, is we have literally in 2 matches 18 competitors.
Yeah. And what I'm curious about too, one thing that got pulled back from Wednesday's show for time reasons or for who knows what, you didn't get the announcement. There was supposed to be an announcement about the Owen Cup or the Owen Tournament. So I wonder if you get any news and relates to the deal that they have reached with the Hart family, because that was advertised.
Absolutely over the top. They are loving that AEW wants to work with them on it.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. Especially because this was taped after your major show. So it would not surprise me if I think if there was a major debut or something, you'd have probably heard about it. Some stuff would have leaked, but I think you still might get some surprises here.
Okay, well, we did not know who the mystery 2 were going to be on one of the teams, but the first team, Eddie Kingston, Ortiz, and Santana, AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Lucha Brothers, Penta El Zero Miedo, and Rey Fenix, taking on 2.0, Jeff Parker, Matt Lee, Daniel Garcia, and Yow. It's the Acclaimed, Anthony Bowens and Max Caster.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, between Eddie Kingston and the Lucha Brothers, you've got a team with some really, really interesting fan favorites there. So I think this will be a good match to get the crowd interested, because you've got some favorites there.
An 8-man tag team match. The infamous Bobby Fish, the Super Elite, Adam Cole, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, taking on the Chaos, Orange Cassidy, Rocky Romero, and the Best Friends, Chuck Taylor and Trent. And they want to end Mom's career.
You know what? This will be fun. I wonder if Sue will be there.
Sue should be there, and she should get in a shot or two on the Super Elite.
I will say, I don't necessarily always enjoy Buck segments, but it was one of the Bucks when they were talking about ending Sue's career, the fact they could technically end her career because she gets W-2s. And I really like that little bit of logic,
Yeah. And then finally, a submission match from the women, Tay Conte and Penelope Ford.
This is good. I like the stipulation here, because it is going to be a different style match than you typically see with both of these people wrestle. So I'm excited about this.
One other thing that will be happening is Dan Lambert will be on TV.
Fantastic. I was actually going through some pictures from several years ago at a Christmas celebration, and who was in the background but Dan Lambert.
At a Christmas party?
Yeah, Dan Lambert. You did say Dan Lambert, right? Because
I'm
friends with Dan's Lambert. Brother. Oh, okay, not Dan Lambert, but I did see a picture today with Dan. Oh, yeah. Dan. I'm not sure what Dan Lambert does for employment now. He was working at a bank. Not Dan Lambert, but I did find a picture with Dan Lambert, who worked at a bank for a short time in the background. So there's that.
Wow. Well, we've got Rampage. We've got SmackDown. Matthew Thomas, we've got, again, 6 days till Festivus. How are you going to celebrate?
Oh, my goodness.
Are you going to wear Big E's wrestling tights? Because, he's got the Festivus wrestling tights on.
I'm not, but you know what? I was actually supposed to be gifted a Braun Strowman Christmas sweater. It has not arrived in the mail yet, so I need to track that package.
Okay. How are you going to be selling Christmas? Celebrating? Boy, you can tell it's the end of the week. How are you going to be celebrating?
You know what? I'm going to be celebrating Christmas with a lot of stuffing. I don't know exactly who's going to make the stuffing, or maybe various forms.
So you just show up to holiday parties and expect somebody to have stuffing there for you.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of become the rule of thumb. Is like, if I'm going to be in attendance, at your holiday gathering, you're supposed to fix me stuffing. Like, it's just become kind of tradition.
Kind of like the tradition of me showing up at my mom's parties, be it Thanksgiving or Christmas. Everybody gets to share the pumpkin pie there, but I mean, really, what they're doing is having pieces of my pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
Because when the night's over, that goes home with me.
Oh, and speaking of pie too, I was in addition to the stuffing, there was a Thanksgiving pecan pie that didn't happen. So I have been guaranteed a pecan pie to enjoy in person, and also an entire whole pie to take home with me. So I've got a full pie, and then I've got a to-go pie. So I've got my pie and my stuffing.
How many parties do you go to? Christmas Eve, Christmas Day?
Just one or two right now. It will be some additional post-Christmas stuff when I fly to Virginia here in a couple of weeks. So that's I'll hit probably 2 or 3 there, but yeah, so not a crazy amount.
I've liked Christmas get-togethers better than Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving we're all mentally just told we got to eat turkey, right?
Yeah.
Christmas I enjoy. Actually, you can make the ham. That's cool. Whatever. I'll eat your ham. But I like noshing. Do you know what noshing is?
No idea. No.
I like just having a whole spread of just stuff that you just put on your plate and you just pick at it and eat all day.
Yeah, no, because there's always some stuff. And here's the thing too, man. Like, turkey's good and whatnot, but turkey's probably the least thing that I enjoy in Thanksgiving, because it's like, it's not that hard to acquire a turkey whenever you want a turkey. And it's the other stuff, again, like, until I open my stuffing restaurant, it's so hard to acquire stuffing throughout the year. So you have to eat quintessentially a whole year's worth of stuffing within the span of a month.
Fair enough. Yeah, I like having, sausage, cheese, a spread, some sort of dip, some sort of chip, chips, dips, chains, whips, can of wax on the nipples, all that good stuff. I want it all.
Well, Meathead, it's your holiday gathering. What you need to make sure you do is take, a nice picture of your spread and make sure you tweet that thing out to all of our listeners, because that's what they want to see.
Yeah, we'll have to see about that. All right, Matthew. Well, we've rambled on about nothingness for long enough. For Linda Kay, for the man they call Meathead, for Matthew Thomas, this is the go home to the holiday editions of all the shows that we have. Don't forget also, folks, head on over to blizzardbrawl.com. There are some big GLCW shows. The Sunny Days one, they've already sold out the first couple rows of front row for Sunny. So head on over to blizzardbrawl.com, take a look at that. But Matthew, you have a good holiday week ahead, and we'll get into the big shows. We'll talk to you guys Monday morning. So long, everyone.